What's the most bizarre or unexplained thing you've ever witnessed that you still can't explain to this day? This was while visiting my grandparents in upstate New York one summer in the early to mid-90s. We were driving back to their place from a relative's late at night and stopped at a red light. I looked out the window down the cross street, and in the middle of the street was a full-grown female lion. Not a puma, but a straight-up lion. I said, "Lion," and pointed, and my grandparents also said something like, "Oh shit, that's a lion," and drove off. I remember my grandpa called the sheriff to report it, but they kind of just made fun of him because why the fuck would a lion be wandering a small-ass town upstate? Even if it was just a puma, they hadn't lived in the area for more than a century by that point. Black market exotic pets that are abandoned when they become unruly. I completely believe you saw one. This is pretty much the family theory. There was plenty of farm country and forest for someone to hide a menagerie in. In 2016 we had just moved back to the States after living overseas for 10 years. My daughter was born here but remembered nothing of it. When she was tiny, before we moved away, we'd go to the local mall sometimes, to the play area and to ride the carousel. One afternoon in September we drove over there so she could see the old neighborhood and we went by the mall. It was almost completely shuttered, signs gone, parking lot empty, only a couple stores left, food court shut down, carousel and play area gone. Even the theater across the road had closed. It was sad. This used to be a destination, supermall. When we got home I told my husband about it and he wanted to see, so the next day he and I drove there. What I saw was the only thing that's ever caused me to gape, mouth open. Fully open mall, signs intact, anchor stores still there, every space had a store, full of people, carousel going, play area full of kids, food court open, across the street the theater was lit up and people all around. I was speechless, literally. My husband started to tease me but saw the confusion on my face and stopped. We got back in the car and went home. My daughter fully thought I was joking until I took her back there. She was speechless. All of this is true. I don't know what happened that day, but it did happen. Neither my daughter nor I have viewed reality in the same way since. I know this isn't what happened, but I like the idea of there being a tornado warning or something where they had to temp board everything up. I've thought of this, and the movie set comment, but neither one works. If it were just the outside maybe, but it was closed down except for a Nordstrom rack and an as seen on TV store. Had it been a fully functioning mall it wouldn't be financially reasonable to empty every store for weather or a production company. This is actually exactly how big movie productions work though. They rent whatever space they need, do whatever they need to it, then it's fixed back up and functioning in no time again. Production is actual magic. If this counts as witnessing since it happened to me. I worked as a bouncer for a gay club/bar and I got roofied. I don't know how but it happened. I never drink anything open there or eat food there that isn't in my pockets and sealed. The place wasn't even a dangerous club/bar. I only ever went on the job drink cold sodas I bring from home, Jarritos, free, to which I drink fast so I never actually set my stuff down or look away. I know I was roofied because one minute I was talking to a woman who was asking me where the bathroom was when suddenly I felt off like I pointed to the bathroom and missed I think and then it got hard to speak so I wobbled to the break room and from there I don't remember a thing and I was told I passed out the very moment I walked into the room. Door still open. I woke up next day middle of the afternoon in a hospital bed and I looked over the footage like 30 times and not a single point was there a point where I could tell it happened. Even my boss was questioning on maybe I could have grabbed a drink I didn't mean to grab or ate something I shouldn't. They were worried too, but like holy shit we couldn't find any point in the day where I could have ingested the roofie.
Did they find drugs in your system?
Yes, they even looked to see if I was SA'd. Found no traces of SA or anything like that though. I was just unconscious from the drug and they asked me and police asked me about it.
In 2001, I lost my 17-year-old son in an automobile accident. About 6 months later, a girl that went to school with my younger son told me she had a dream about my late son. She didn't know him well, but I was her cheerleading advisor. She said in her dream, he came into the room and asked her to do him a favor. Tell my mom I love her, I miss her, and I'm okay. About a year later, another girl who had gone to his school but wasn't really in his circle sent me an email. She had gotten my email from a family member of mine that she had recently met. She said she had a dream she needed to tell me about. She said in the dream my son had come into the room and asked her to do him a favor. Tell my mom I love her, I miss her, and that I'm okay. I was very stunned, to say the least. A few months after that, one of his best friends called. She had joined the military after she graduated, and we hadn't spoken in a while. She wanted to check in on me. And she wanted to tell me about a dream she had. It was word for word, the same dream. 3 people who didn't communicate with each other had the same dream, with the same message to me from my son.
Wow. Goosebumps. I'm so sorry you lost your son. I hope you found some comfort in these dreams. No way that's a coincidence. I was working at a hospital and it was night time. The elevators run along a glass corner, and if it's night and you're on the last elevator, you can see the reflection of the hall, say if someone is waiting. I was on that last elevator, got to the main floor and the doors opened up. I see a blonde lady in all black with a small sports-style stroller waiting for the elevator in that glass reflection. I fully intended to hold the door for her, so I double-checked the glass to see if she would start walking, so I could hold the door from closing. Checked even a third time at the glass, still standing there. I breached out of the elevator and started to hold my arm out to hold that door since she didn't move. Well, no one was there. I looked back at the reflection, nothing. I went to the T in the hall, still no one. I was sort of panicked and immediately called a coworker in case of the worst to tell him what I witnessed.
Reflections be weird. When I was 8, I was in Pakistan at my aunt's place. Her husband owned a paint company there, so they lived in this decked out, by Pakistan standards, 5-story house. I was staying on the 3rd floor and did not know there was a basement. One day I wake up way before anyone else. It's the weekend and everyone's sleeping in, they sleep during the hot afternoons. Point is, I was awake, groggy, and everyone else is asleep. Now I'm a little frogged up, but fully conscious and aware. We had just arrived a few days ago and I decided to explore. I go all the way to the top. Cool, they have like a rooftop office apartment thing that opens up on the roof. Sick. I start working my way down and down and down, and wait, there's a basement? I look down the stairwell and holy crap, it's dark down there. I wind down slowly and see a massive hole that opens up into a sky. In the ground, like a hole around the foot of the stairs, with nothing under but blue and clouds. I wonder what kind of cosmic fuckery I'm looking at and go back upstairs. I try to tell my brother there's a sky in the basement and he waves me off, half asleep. A few days go by. I do even think about it because I'm a kid living like a prince in the 3rd world because my aunt and uncle are wild lol. Then one day they decide to have a party. In the basement. Long story short, the basement was one huge open floor plan with marble floors. Floors that perfectly reflected the sky shining through the top wall windows. LMAO.
Reflections definitely do some trickery, and I still hope there was something I was missing. That was something I also did. I checked to see if there were any paintings, murals, etc. that could have made the reflection. There was absolutely nothing that could have made that clear as day of a reflection. There were 2 murals that were big enough to be human-sized on the elevator doors and some pictures hanging on the wall opposite of the doors. Still no blonde lady in all black with a stroller. This isn't the first time I've seen a spirit or heard a spirit. This is just the one that is completely unexplainable. Maybe one more as well, we can get into if you'd like, huh? Your story from Pakistan is usually my ending. There was a solid reason for it after a day or 2 of wondering, WTF. Hello YouTube people, I hope you liked the video. We'll see you again later with more exciting Reddit stories.